Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new Vuitton Podcast. And we will explore key economic concepts to help you understand the world of business and finance. I'm your host, Inky Gambold. Today, we're going to discuss three important concepts: marginal cost and marginal profit and marginal revenue. How they impact decision making for business. Joining me today is Cecilia. She had an internship at foreign trade company in mainland China and currently taking Math 1A and studying economics in second year at De Anza College. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting.
So, can you tell us about your journey to economics and how you decide to study in this field?
So the reason why I choose economic is because when I was back into my high school, I take so many AP classes, and I feel like economic is the one that pretty interests me. And actually for economics, there's so many theories they can not only apply in business field, but they could also apply in your daily life. So everything actually working in the same theory and the same logic. And that's how economic attractive to me.
I see. That's very interesting journey. How do you see the math and business evolve in the next few years? And what are the opportunities or challenges do you foresee?
For math and business, I feel like actually math and business they always useful in all the time. I feel like because I feel like every subject actually is it's like a conclusion of our daily life, and we conclude all the theorem or research that could actually apply to our life and make them into a subject for people to learning. And I feel like uh, but especially for math, it's like a subject that will always be useful in other fields, because I feel like for math I know for math it's actually a subject that doing research or investigate on numbers. And also for applied math they're like a conclusion of all the physics or other subject. They're like a conclusion of all those math models that could actually apply. So I feel like math will always be useful, and for business that will always be useful as well, because we are living in the world, and the world is always having trading and marketing and other things that will related to business, because that's a process of how the society developed. And I feel like even though so as we all see, because right now for business field there are also traditional business and also new business, like because all the subject I feel like they always will go with the flow of how the how our how our generation are developed, and how the new trends will go into. So I believe for math and business, they will always be the top top heated subject.
Subheater subject, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Like the people who are at high school and trying to choose their major and thinking about choosing business, what do you recommend them to do?
Okay, I am not an super professional person, so I don't have any super foresee advice for those people. But I would say, as my own experience, I would recommend a student who interested in business to practice in because we know all the things that we learn from textbook, they are just theorem and uh, knowledge, but practice in our real life is totally different. from what we have learned from textbook. So I feel like if you are interested in those field, you can try to do an intern job or start your own small business and get to know what the real business is going to be like. Because every field it is always not the same as what we have learned in our textbook. You have to really practice that in your life to see what is that actually looks like. So I would recommend for student in high school who are interested in business, try to do an intern job and then get into the real life and see what real business is, and that could also help them to specify what kind of business they would like to learn.
Could you expand the concept of marginal profit and then its importance in business and decision making?
Yeah, sure. So I actually prepare a story to explain the whole concept. And have you ever heard about Larry's Lemonade before?
I never heard of it. It's my first time heard.
Okay, so here's the story of Larry's Lemonade. So once upon a time, in a bustling neighborhood, Larry he decided to open a lemonade stand, which is just a small business. With pictures of lemons, sugar, and water, he started his business. And then he just aiming to quench the thirst of pass-by people at the very first beginning and just want to earn some extra, pocket money.
Mm-hmm.
But he soon become more and more popular. So he decided to, promoting his business. And then Larry noticed that for every additional lemon he used, the cost increased slightly. But also the appeal of his lemon leading to higher sales. So at the very beginning, the revenue from selling one more glass of lemonade, it could significantly exceed the cost of more lemon and leading to a positive marginal profit. And that is how and the revenue with selling one more glasses
Mm-hmm.
Of lemonade is the marginal revenue, and then the cost of a lemon is our marginal cost. So at first, the marginal revenue is significantly higher than the marginal cost, so he could earn a positive marginal profit. And then, as Larry considered expanding, he realized that not every additional lemons will produce the same level of profit. So if I added one more lemon, maybe the next time he added the second lemon,
Mm-hmm.
the profits are not raising in the same amount, but it start diminishing a little bit and a little bit. So here's the concept of diminishing return setting. So the more lemons he added, the less additional profits he made from each glass. And then because of the cost of lemon was raising faster than the revenue from extra sales, so we know that it don't work anymore. So we have to figure out a better way. Yeah. So the story take a crucial turns right now because he finds out that the optimal number of lemon to use. He calculates the point where the cost of adding one more lemon will be equal the revenue generates from the extra glass of lemon sold. So beyond this point, any additional lemon would not be worth to squeeze because it would not add to his profit and could even reduce them. So at that point, he could figure out a better, the best option uh, for his new cost, for his marginal cost and marginal revenue, and make sure the marginal profit is maximized. Yeah. And then with the knowledge of marginal profits, Larry decided to replicate his lemonade stand across different locations. He applied the same principle to determine the optimal number of stands, ensuring that each new stand will generate enough additional revenue to cover the cost of expansion, thereby maximizing his overall profits. So this story illustrates the practical application of marginal profits in a traditional business field, and also do you think it's better help you to understanding the concept of all the marginal costs or marginal revenue, marginal profit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's because in every aspect of life you touch on, like you have to figure out like how it works, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, in your opinion, what are some misconceptions about marginal profit, and how would you clarify them?
Um, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. What misconception people will have? I think maybe one point we could say is that uh, maybe people will think about marginal profit is always rising, but actually in real life business, the marginal profit they will eventually decrease. It's like a curve, so it will increase at first and then it will go down at last. So it could marginal profit could be positive and could be negative. So it is not always it doesn't mean that you could always generate a positive marginal profit. So that's why we have to figure out that optimal number.
What's the reason like marginal cost like going down in the graph? Like, what does
The
it do?
reason why marginal cost going down.
Maybe like marginal profit is going down. You said it doesn't have to be always up.
Yeah.
It can go
So
down.
the reason why marginal profits going down is that because in real life, because it. So every time you want to increase a little bit of your revenue, you have to also put into some cost, right?
Yeah.
And for when marginal profit is positive, it's because the cost, the marginal cost you put into it is lower. It is significantly smaller than your marginal revenue. So right now you can earn more by costing a little bit. You could maybe you cost this much, but you could earn this much. But we always know that, for example, just like the lemonade, you put in one lemonade first, you could earn that much more. But every time you put into a lemonade, so the second time you put into the second lemonade, it will be like this much. But maybe your revenue will only increase that little bit. So it is not a straight line. It's not a straight line. Just like in math, it's a curve, and we know for curve, it will go up and it will goes down. So that is why marginal profit is not always the positive, because your cost is fixed. Your cost is fixed,
Yeah.
but your revenue will gradually goes down. So it is not proportional.
Oh.
Yeah, it is not proportional. Yeah. See how math could explain so many things.
Oh yeah. So I'm making more money, the marginal profit will increase, but it's not actually like proportional. It's gonna be curved.
Yeah. Or I could also explain that when we are prepared for exam. For example, like I stay up late tonight. I stayed up late to preparing for my math quiz.
Oh, yeah.
And then I stayed up until 1 a.m. But I'm already exhausted right now. And I'm already learned too many things. My brains are already full with math. But right now, I decided to put in 1 more hours. I decided to learn it until 2 a.m. in the morning. But right now, I'm already exhausted. So I cannot learn the same amounts that I could learn before about math. So right now, maybe I was like, I am doing derivative. I could solve so many I could solve 10 problems before, but right now I'm exhausted. I'm super tired. So I could only solve like 8 math problem. And then when it goes to 3 a.m., I decided to stay up uh, one more hours. I stayed up until 3 p.m. Right now I'm super exhausted. I was like dy dx equals to blah blah blah. And right now I could only do like maybe only 4 or 5 math problems. So right now you can see my efficiency is going down. So it is not the best option for me. I supposed to go to bed right now, and that is why more. It's not always you spending more, you costing more, you could get more. Yeah.
That's very good explanation. I really like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You spend more time to study in the night,
Mhm.
and then your outcome will be like smaller and smaller.
Yeah, gradually smaller and smaller. Yeah.
Because of that, brain tiredness.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense. Like,
Mhm.
so can you share a real world example highlights benefit of marginal profit?
Yeah, sure. So, the story of Larry's Lemonade is about a traditional business model, but as we all know, we are in the digital age and everything goes so fast right now, and we also having a new business market. Like it is not only the traditional product, but we also having digital product right now. And as we are in Cupertino, and I would like to talk about our beloved Apples and about the story of their CEO right now, which is Tim Cook, about how he's adventure with his revolutionary idea about software application makes he so wonderful right now. Like so for digital product, unlike the physical products, they're having a unique cost structure. So it is a high initial development cost followed by a very low marginal cost for producing additional units. So we all know for at the very beginning, to develop a software, you have to put into a lot of budget and time.
Mhm.
But the cost to distribute another copy is almost negligible, right?
Mhm.
You don't have to cost you don't have to cost anything else. So as Team Software gained popularity, he faced the decision of how to scale his business. So the concept of marginal profit became his guiding light. For him, the marginal cost of producing one more software unit was close to zero, right? For example, like you already have a application, and you for the first application you have to put into a lot of time and budget to develop it.
Mhm.
But you could, as we all know, for App Store, you just put the app over there, and people could download it, and you don't having any other marginal cost when you want to sell it to more people. So it is like zero marginal cost. So the dramatically low marginal cost meant that each additional sales significantly contribute to his profits. Yeah. So with the marginal cost being so low, team experiments with various pricing strategy to maximize his marginal revenue. He considered subscription models and also freemium strategy with premium features and also volume discounts to attract more user and increase overall revenue. So we can see why there are so many subscription on our apps, and you have to become a premium to listen in Apple Music unless you are not able to listen to your favorite singer's songs.
Yeah.
It's all because of this kind of model. Yeah. So understanding his marginal profits were substantial. So team reinvested in marketing. So customer service and product development and are all the other things he invested in. So this investment aimed to increase the user base and by extension his software's value through network effect, further boosting his marginal revenue.
Yeah, I always like wonder like how Apple is not, they can do like much better, like better things, but they're not doing that. It's because of that, marginal profit and marginal revenue. Because Steve Jobs genuinely believe it. I believe that one of my mentors, like I think it's Steve Jobs, and I watch his interview a lot. One of the engineer, like he was like talking with, said, "Oh, why Steve Jobs? Why are you like integrating with nice technologies and out here? Why are you still using like old generation technology? Like trying to sell that?" Because he said very simple. He said like, "Here it comes. You have to." One of the mistakes he has been making is because you're working on technology, not with the people. You have to like know the people what they want instead of like let's do meeting with the engineers and do what fancy technology out there and talk about it. Just talk about what are some user target. How can increase the marginal profit, not like investing on like profit in technologies.
He's definitely a great person, and I totally agree what you just said because we know, as we all see right now, like Apple's spending so much time on Vision Pro, but once it's got published, we can see there actually is so many compliments, and also there are so many voice that some negative voice on this new product. So we could see for most people, for most population, they only focus on what they have right now, but they're not focusing on innovation. But only a small amount of people they will like to pay more on a new innovation. So that will be related to another concept like about the that is another concept related to normal goods and also the luxury goods. So that's also everything could be explaining economics.
Oh, how would you explain that normal goods and luxury goods in a way of marginal cost and marginal profit? Like,
so I would say,
I feel like the supply of luxury goods are very less than like normal goods, but attraction is like much higher. And
so you could say for luxury good, the marginal costs usually are not that high because we know people willing to pay for a luxury good, they must have extra money. So even though they know maybe your cost of producing this product is not that high, but your selling price is super high, they will still would like to pay for you. So for normal goods and luxury goods, the difference is that their supply and demand curve are also not the same. But for luxury goods, even though there are less demand, but people will definitely pay for more on buying those kind of goods. So you could earn more profit by selling one luxury good. But for normal goods, maybe not that many people would like to pay it in a higher price, but you could win on your amounts. You could sometimes the compared to luxury good, sometimes the proportion of its cost to produce a new product may be a little bit off.
Thank you for sharing, Cecilia. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Thanks for listening our podcast. Stay in touch. Peace.